Very good morning, children. Welcome again in biology class. Today we'll again continue chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants, and today's topic is the flower. So children, you all have seen flower. So how does it look? Yes, it looks beautiful. It looks good. Yes. So what is a flower? Like it is said that flower, it is a condensed specialized shoot of an angiospermic plant. So all angiosperms, they bear flowers. So that is why angiosperms, they are also known as flowering plants. So these flowers, they arise in the axil of small leaf-like structure known as the bracts. So the flower, they are commonly borne on a short or long pedicel. The upper swollen region of pedicel, it is called as receptacle or thalamus. Now flowers, they have specialized pedicel known as pedicellate flowers, and the flowers without pedicel, they are known as sessile. Now bracteole, it is the secondary whorl of bracts which are present at the base of a flower, and the flowers which have bracteole, they are known as bracteolate, and those without bracteole, they are called abracteolate. So here it is said that flower is a modified shoot. So figure 5.72 represents different flowers. So this is a flower and these are the bracts. Now this is the flower which has the petals, gynophore, nodes, sepals, gynophore, stamens. Now this is the flower in which thalamus is there and prolonged thalamus is there. And here the flower which has prolonged thalamus, petals, sepals. Now parts of a flower. So a typical flower, it consists of 4 floral buds on the receptacle or thalamus. They are calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So calyx, it is the outermost first whorl of the flower which is composed of leaf-like green sepals. Now these sepals, they enclose the bud and they protect the delicate part inside it. Next whorl, or the second whorl of the flower is a corolla. Now it consists of number of petals, and mostly petals, they are brightly colored, scented, and they are of various shapes. They attract insects for pollination. Third whorl of the flower is the male reproductive organ known as stamens. Now stamens, they are made up of 3 parts: filament, anther and connective. Now the filament, it supports the anther at its tip. The anther, it is 4-chambered and it bears granular mass of pollen grains. The connective, it joins the 2 antherlobes. Now gynoecium, which is the 4th whorl of the flower, is the female reproductive organ of flower and it is known as pistil. It occupies the central position of the receptacle and is composed of ovary, style and stigma, and these components of parts are called as carpels. The stigma, it is sticky and receives pollen grains. Ovules form the seeds after fertilization and ovary forms the fruit. If we see the taxonomic description of flower, the flowers, they are divided into accessory and necessary whorls of a flower, bisexual and unisexual and flowers, polygamous, monoecious and dioecious conditions. So accessory and necessary whorls of a flower. So the sepals and petals, they are not directly involved in reproduction process. So they are called as accessory or non-essential whorls. Whereas androecium and gynoecium, which take part in reproduction process, known as necessary or essential or reproductive whorls of a flower. Now bisexual, unisexual and neuter flowers. Bisexual means when stamens and carpels both present in a same flower. So they are known as hermaphrodite also. Unisexual flower means when only one of the essential whorl is found in a flower. That means either the androecium or the gynoecium. Now the flowers which have only stamens are known as staminate flowers, and those which only has carpels known as pistillate flowers. Now, neuter flowers are the sterile flowers without androecium and gynoecium, like the ray florets of sunflower. The polygamous, monoecious and dioecious plants. Polygamous means plants which have bisexual, unisexual and neuter flowers. Monoecious means plants only having unisexual flowers, either pistillate or either staminate on the same plant. Dioecious means plant species bearing unisexual flowers, that is male and female flowers on the separate plants. Now complete and incomplete flower. Complete flower means flowers which have all the four whorls of the floral parts. And incomplete flowers means out of the four whorls, any one whorl is absent. So let's see what is a flower. See the diagram, children. Here is a list of the flower showing the various parts of the flower. So this is a pedicel. Now the thalamus is here, and there is the different whorls of the flower are here. Then here, these are the sepals. Then the petals or the corolla. Now here is the male reproductive part, stamen which has a filament and the anther, and the female reproductive part, pistil or the carpel, the gynoecium which has a stigma, style and ovary. So let's see the symmetry in flowers. Now, what is the symmetry? So the arrangement of floral appendages on the axis of a flower, it is called as floral symmetry. So the axis on which the flower is attached, it is called mother axis. So on the basis of symmetry, the flowers can be of three types: actinomorphic, zygomorphic and asymmetrical. So an actinomorphic or regular flower means the flower can be divided by any vertical plane into two equal halves and similar halves. Zygomorphic or irregular means the flower, they may be divided into two equal halves by only one vertical plane. Whereas asymmetrical flowers means flowers which cannot be divided into two equal halves. So here figure 5.77 shows actinomorphic, zygomorphic and asymmetrical flowers. So this is actinomorphic, which can be divided at any plane into two equal halves. Then zygomorphic and vertical plane, it can be divided into two equal halves. And asymmetrical, which cannot be divided into two equal halves. Now, isomerous or heteromerous flowers. So a flower is isomerous when there is the same basic number of parts in different floral organs. It may be bimerous, trimerous or tetramerous or pentamerous according to the number of parts in each whorl. The floral taxi or the floral phyllotaxy, which means the arrangement of floral organs borne on the thalamus, which are of three types: spiral or acyclic, cyclic and spiral cycle. Spiral means when all the floral organs, they are born in spirals. Cyclic means when different floral organs occurs in whorls. Spirocyclic when there is some intermediate condition with some floral organs occurring in a spiral while other floral organs that develop in whorls. Now the hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous flowers. So depending on the form of thalamus and the position of floral whorls on the thalamus with respect to ovary, flowers are of three types: hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous. So in hypogynous, the thalamus is convex and ovary occupies the highest position on it. And the other three whorls like sepals, petals and stamens, they are inserted one above the other but below the ovary. Perigynous means the receptacle of the thalamus, they form a shallow or deep cup-shaped structure around the ovary. Now here is the floral whorls and thalamus. Now this is the typical hypogynous flower, then perigynous flowers and cup-shaped flower, flower-shaped flower and epigynous flower. This is all for today, children. In our next class, we'll learn about taxonomic description of floral parts. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.